Good afternoon. Hey, it's the Trigger Rich Bontrager back for another 2 p.m. with the Trigger. And interviews is our conversation today. Interviews. I have literally done thousands of interviews in my media broadcast career. And now I coach, I help people learn the media skills to be great interview guests. I also coach on how to be a great host, great interviewer. But today we're going to talk about how to leverage your interviews. You get asked to be on an interview, you're looking for more interviews, you get that interview done. What next? What do you do to leverage that interview to its full capability to get the results and the traction, the new leads that you want to get out of a great interview? We're going to touch a little bit on that today because it's so important. A lot of the calls I get is, look, I'm going to be on an interview show. I didn't do as well last time. Can you help me look better and sound better? What do I do? How do I do it? So let's break this down just a little bit for you on what interview skills you need to have. And the first one is, again, before you go live, before you do anything on camera with the interview host, you need to share and promote the interview. That's basic number one. You need to make sure that you are going to push it out on your social media. Invite people to come and watch it, whether it's streaming live, recorded. If it's recorded, push out, hey, I'm so excited to be on so and so show. I can't wait to be interviewed this coming Thursday. And let people know you're going under the mic, under the hood, and you're going to go do a show. Let people know you're excited about it. Celebrate those people, mention them by names, hashtag their shows, do all those things to show that you are active on the speaking circuit as an interview guest. That's step one. No matter if it's going to be a live show or a recorded show, celebrate that you are going to be on that media interview event. Now, when you're on and preparing to get ready to go on that show, review and watch or listen to past shows with that host. You want to know their cadence, their rhythm, their style, their brand persona. They've got a brand persona too. They've got a brand message. You're going to want to make sure you get to know who that is and what they're all about. Make sure you take the time to listen to a couple. So when you get on, you already kind of know the vibe. You kind of know the feel. You can play into their strengths and make them look good while you're looking just as good, if not sharper. When you get on the shows, you do want to have some great media tips and skills to shine and outshine previous guests that have been on. Here's a couple simple interview skills that you need to have. There's a lot more. I have a whole seminar on this to help you with interview skills. Happy to talk more about that with you. But one of those things is your eye contact. If you're doing it virtually, like I do hundreds of these now, you want to make sure you look at the camera. Look at that camera and talk to it like your best friend. Look like it's the real person there and call that person by name. You may be miles and miles apart, halfway around the world, but you want to make it feel like you're having an intimate conversation. And again, by doing the research on the host, you can make that more natural by coming on the show. Then you look at the camera, you interact with them, and that's how you build that bond that you get on camera, that chemistry. I've had interviews that are so powerful because of that chemistry, because of the work people have done in advance. It just explodes. And people watching it live streaming or even the replays will comment what chemistry you had. That's part of the magic of making sure you know how to come prepared to be on camera and know how to work with that interview host. So leverage it that way. During the show, you also want to smile a lot. Smiling can be exhausting. When you smile, it also communicates you're warm, you're fun, you're having a good time. Smiling also with your voice, it makes your voice have a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of fun and joy in it by simply smiling. It can't help but have a smile and have a good time. So use your smile, and that will help you leverage that interview as an informed, fun, great interview guest. Finally, when you wrap down that show, when you close out that show, a big skill is do not talk over the host. Do not clip that host at the end when they're wrapping up, giving you all the important information about how to contact you and share your web links. By the way, simple trick on these shows. Every host is going to ask you, how can they get in touch with you? Share the most easiest, simple, direct way to get in touch with you. That's the magic of interviews. You don't want this to be a landing page, another landing page. You sign in, you opt out, whatever. You don't want to do all that funnel junk. Don't do it. If you have the ability to give people your phone number and say, hey, give me a call, let's do some coaching, let's do some talking. There's my telephone number right there. That is my telephone number. It will get directly to me. If you want to call me and talk to me and learn about the coaching, about emceeing, the different events I do, as I talk about this during my interviews, I give them a telephone number sometimes. If your direct way is your email, again, every day I let you know, I take my own personal email. I still read everyone and I reply to everyone personally. The junk mail does get deleted, but the personal ones I do take, and just rich@richbontrager.net. There it is right there. Use it. But you want to make your connection at the end of the show as easy as it can be. You do not want to have it be a web of trying to capture emails, of trying to capture, no, that's going to happen. You'll get that information. But from podcast show to connecting with potential clients and other interested persons, you want to give them the straight shot to you. That's as clear as I can make that. Now, you've done the show. You're done. You're wrapped up. You're all complete. What do you do next? How do you leverage this show? Well, first of all, you thank the host for having you on. Send them a personal email, send them a text, whatever way you can. Thank them for having you on the show. Let them know it was a joy to be on. You had a blast. You look forward to maybe coming back again later. See that relationship, grow that relationship. When they send you the link for replaying and resharing it, reshare the link. Don't say you're going to do it and then not do it. Does you no good to do a great interview and then not leverage that for your own purposes. Take that and put it on your social media. Do a little introduction of, hey, I was on Ted's show this week. It was a great show. Here's what we talked about. Here's some little tips. Listen to the full interview and leverage that content. Leverage that content into an article or a blog post. Do a blog post on your appearance on that show and the amazing time you had, content you shared as your points you put into your blog post. And then you want to hear the full interview, put the link into your blog or into your article. Google loves that for analytics. They love when you resource and show other assets. So it's going to go up in the Google search. People love it because they get to hear you in action and see you in action. Leverage that content. Now, another way to leverage that content is get permission from the host. Some shows do not want you chopping up their shows and everything else, but get permission from that host and ask if you can do some micro content and pull out 2 or 3 sound bites from that. You do want to highlight which interview show you were on when you give your information and you reshare it as a mini or as a short. So you want to highlight a great sound bite. I coach. I help you develop sound bites. Different conversation, but sound bites are really important. So take one of those sound bites out of your overall interview and leverage that. Again, link to the full interview. Want to learn more about what we talked about today? Link to the full interview. Finally, on your website, you should have a full page of interviews that you have been on. Share those out, repurpose those out, but have a collection to showcase you being a guest on other people's shows. Show and share how you show up as a brand authority messenger for whatever it is you have. More people will see them. They will like them. They will comment. They will share. By the way, reply to every comment. If they're talking to you and not to the host, reply to every comment. Give them some love. But if you have this on your website, it's a great asset tool. Sprinkle some around the website and show how amazing you are. It's really simple to take one event and turn it into multiple streaming content. And again, always when you repurpose it, put a calendar link for book a call with me. I'd love to do a one-on-one with you. Take that as a lead magnet to have direct access back to you. Don't just repost it as here's some great information. You're wasting the full leverage. You want to make it that this is a leveraging tool to point back to you and your genius and your knowledge and your superpowers. Leverage that to draw more people to you, to gather more clients, to elevate you and your brand authority. If you have one or two that you've absolutely crushed them, put them on your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn now has that rich content area that you can highlight and show some of your amazing information, your posts, your blogs, your videos. Drop a link in there, get a cover shot of you in action on the video, right? And then put that on that LinkedIn post with the link to the podcast and give them a little teaser about what was there. But keep that front and center when you have a really, really good one. There's so many different ways you can leverage being on interview shows. It's the best way to announce your genius without bragging on yourself. The hosts will brag on you. Other people on the show will brag on you. If you're on an interview panel, they will brag on you. So leverage these, share them, retag them, repost them. If you're going to make short content, get permission first, respect them, and see what you can do. How does that work for you? Are you able to leverage those interviews that you have been on? Have you done a good job of preparing for the show? So in show, you do a dynamite job. Let me know. I'd love to have some thoughts, some comments in the chat here today and find out more about what you have going on and what's working for you. Also, come and join us for open mic. Open mic is a great way that you can learn how to appear better on camera, to speak better. You get to do a 5 or 7 minute little mini talk. Coming up this month, we're going to be talking about your favorite character, not the actor, not the actual person. What's your favorite character and why do you most identify with them? 5 to 7 minutes, small open mic time, and I'll do some coaching with that, and you'll get feedback from peers that are also elevating their message and their brand. As always, if you want to learn more about Rock the Stage, go to rockthestagemedia.com. We mentioned that earlier. Use your websites. Here I am using mine. Make sure you connect with Rock the Stage Media. We have services, coaching, and of course, I travel and MC and do a lot of in-person work as well. Or I'm going to make it really easy today. Contact me, Rich at richbontrager.net, or simply pick up the telephone and send me a text, send me a message. Trigger, we'd like to know more about what's going on. We'd like to connect with you about coaching. Help us with our branding. 507-358-4212. That's the telephone number right there. I'll leave it there for the close of the show, and you can contact me directly. That's going to do it for 2 p.m. with the Trigger. Remember, leverage your content. Don't just do an interview and let it sit and you hope, you pray that someone will follow up with you. Be proactive. Leverage that interview so you get the desired you want for taking the time to be a quality guest. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 2 p.m. live with the Trigger. Until then, have a great day and keep rocking the stage.